Yo,
What's good, people? Been a while. What's good?
Pretty dead off season on all fronts.
Oh yeah, real dead off season.
The Rockies aren't doing anything for us to make us happy. So
that's a negative on all fronts.
They did do something.
Oh, they did just beat the shit out of the Cardinals, which makes me happy. It makes my soul happy.
Bro, they said that was the first time they scored. I was like, the last time they scored or got like 16 runs was 7 years ago or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. That definitely made me happy.
We went off nail biters. I don't know. Mate. I don't know. That game was crazy. I just watched highlights of it. I was like, what's going on? Where did this come from?
Where has this been all
season? Enough of those garbage ass trash can motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, no more Rockies.
Nope. Time for some Broncos.
Training camp.
Even though I'm wearing Nuggets, so
we're about 2 weeks in.
Can't stop me anyway. Broncos camp. What have you thought so far?
Liking it so far. I mean, I'm not hearing any bad things about Russ. He's not throwing ducks or throwing pieces of shit out there, so that's fantastic to hear. And, fantastic to hear that Surtain's making great plays out there, on the receivers.
They had a bench that, man. Get off the field.
Get off the field. You're finished for the day.
You're messing us up. Stop.
Oh yeah, just too good for them out there. Yeah, he's gonna be great, and it's fantastic to hear. And it's pretty good to hear all the pass rushers are actually putting together solid camps all around.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard good things from Nick Benito. I've heard good things from fucking Malik Reed. I've heard like Malik Reed has had a good day, like 4 days.
4 days in a row.
Four good days for Malik Reed. I don't know about in a row, but I've heard like 4 separate times that he's had a good day.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk winners and losers first with this training camp. Who's probably been, well, I guess I'll say the biggest winner is Pat Surtain for his performance. I guess I would say also, in terms of offense, I would say Eric Salberts had a pretty solid camp.
He has had a pretty solid camp. Catching a lot of touchdowns.
He's doing, and I would say Melvin, until today, didn't practice, but that's all right. It was a jog for today. He could come back tomorrow for the Cowboys practice. But Melvin's been, he's been hanging in there. He's been showing that he's a good, he's still got something left in the tank. But, Pookie's number one for us.
Oh yeah, certainly. Pookie, I do believe that Pookie is the number one, and also in the coaches' minds too, because they started off from the bat saying that he's getting 60 and Melvin's getting 40, which I like. That's what I want. I want Melvin to get more catches. Honestly, to be honest, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anyway, they're both winners. Winner.
Yeah, the whole running back room is pretty much winners. We just signed 2 today. Probably gonna release them. Probably not even just some camp bodies.
Yeah. Just because Melvin got hurt.
Yeah, I'm not taking that out of proportion. I mean, they might cut Melvin if these guys can. What's it called? But that's highly unlikely.
I hope they don't cut. Let's talk about some losers.
I want to do my winners faster.
You want to do your winners? Sorry.
No, you're good. My winners are, my number one winner is Michael Ojemudia, because he's had a fantastic camp on the other side of Pat Surtain as well.
Okay.
Doing great. Coming back from that injury that held him out last season, and when he played like 4.5 games almost, I think. Not even.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see him. Good to see him performing out there in camp. My second winner is KJ Hamler. Due to unfortunate circumstances with Tim Patrick's injury, I think he's going to get a lot of the lion's share and hopefully be that Tyler Lockett type receiver for Russ.
I was hearing, they were talking on DNVR about it wasn't DNVR, it was the franchise guy. He was doing a Broncos breakdown. he was talking about Jerry Judy being kind of like a Tyler Lockett type. I don't want that out of Jerry Judy. You know, I want him to be a route runner. I want him to use his hands to catch the ball. Oh, you know, on the insides. You know, play
Yeah,
the
see
slot
him in space. Yeah, definitely.
play the slot when he needs to, because KJ Hamler's more of the Tyler Lockett. You know, a smaller body. You know, Lockett had to grow into his body. You know, he wasn't always bulky enough to take all these shots. But KJ has that speed. He has that he has that range that he can just be a phenomenal deep threat down the field.
Yeah, Russ definitely has that deep ball.
All right, and
my third winner, my last and final winner is Jonas Griffith.
Jonas
taking that starting position on the other side of Josie Jewell.
Josie, out of my way.
Hey, you know.
Out of my way, Josie.
Keep your eye on Roquan Smith.
Oh. If Roquan
can come to Denver, if Denver can swing that.
Well, what's the trade package for?
Let's see. I would probably say. Let's see. We traded we don't have a first for next year. We do have a second though, right?
I think so.
No, maybe no. Wait, hold on. Because it was 2 firsts, 2 seconds.
So we let's take draft compensation out of the picture. Who do we
have?
Who do we have that the Bears want?
Roquan's level. Melvin. No, they already have it. Not Jordan Howard. Montgomery. Let's see. What would they need? They're pretty thin in corner, right?
Yeah. We could
see. I say Darby. Darby and some picks. Ojimudi and some picks.
I think if like what you said, big winner, Ojemudia, I would say we trade Darby. I trade Darby and Josie.
Yeah, I think we could add one of our linebackers in there as well, maybe Singleton, but we did just sign Singleton to a contract, so that's probably unlikely.
Well, we signed Darby too, or Jewel too.
We did sign Jewel.
I think we'll just sign we'll trade Singleton. We'll do Darby, Singleton. They won't fight for that.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. They'll probably ask for a hefty package for that, man. A hefty package.
They're gonna say, "Give us Justin Simmons."
We're like, "Oh, you can fuck with
what?"
But
you're stupid.
What do you think this is, Madden?
Alright,
okay, who's your losers, your fat L's?
The fat L's, I'm gonna give an L, a little bit of an L to Albert O. Just a little bit. It's not a hefty L, just he hasn't come out in camp as a dominant number 1 tight end for us.
Oh, yeah.
And, Russ is going to need, Russ is going to need some help. Like I said, Eric Albert's had a pretty solid camp for us. And Albert O, like I said, he's had a good camp, but he hasn't had the camp that we need him to have. Especially, when we have a room full of young guys, need to grow into our bodies. But we're trying to go to the playoffs this year. We have all this talent, but it's a lot of young talent. We need this young talent to click with Russell Wilson to potentially get us 12 wins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's had a pretty good camp from what I've heard. I've heard he's been one of Russ's favorite targets. Not in like the red zone, obviously, that was soccer, but he's definitely been one of his favorite targets from what I've heard, anyways, and read from articles. From the 1043thefan.com. But, I mean, I don't really expect much from our tight ends because Russ doesn't really throw to his tight ends much anyways. I mean, he had like 1 good season with Jimmy Graham a while back, but that was pretty much it.
And he had tight ends around him too.
Yeah, Disley wasn't bad at all. Disley was not bad.
Gerald Everett, they had some other guys around Russ, and he's just
real solid guys.
He was just throwing all of his receivers.
Oops.
Barely had any receivers. If I'm gonna give an L, I'm giving an L to Kawan Williams.
Oh yeah, getting injured.
For missing all this practice, and just an L to Randy Gregory, just for being hurt and not being a part of practice.
not practicing. Yeah.
You know what I heard on the DMVR podcast. We have a lot of number twos, and I agree with that. Bradley Chubb, his ceiling, he could be like a fringe one, but he needs somebody.
He needs someone on the edge to take off.
Yeah.
He can't take double teams.
No, yeah, he needs extra help, and he needs somebody else. And if that's Baron Browning or Malik Reed, just maybe, maybe we'll get to the quarterback just a little bit more. But missing Randy Gregory is huge because he had probably the most QB pressures in the league last year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
he was pretty high up there. So Randy Gregory, it's a tough L because he's been hurt, and we could really be using him right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's definitely one of the persons that one of my losers from this camp as well. Because just missing all that time, that's precious snaps that you need, especially with a new defense they're coming to.
Keep putting the mic down to the speaker, so it's making noise. My bad.
Oh no, you're all good. But yeah, definitely Randy Gregory is one of my losers because you need those precious snaps, and we got a lot of hungry pass rushers on this team too. Malik Reed, he's been. Like we heard from that. What was that? The DMVR podcast that we were just listening to?
Yeah, we were listening to the DMVR podcast they were just recapping today's practice, and they were talking about the new ownership. We'll get to that a little later. They brought up Malik Reed just having 4 different practices where he's been balling. He's been doing his thing.
Yeah, and they brought up that he's been like the sack leader for the past 2 years at least, for the past 3 years. He's been Denver's sack leader. So he shouldn't be hungry, but he's hungry.
And just we had Vaughn last 2 years. We only traded him like halfway through the season last year.
He did miss all of the.
Oh, he was hurt. He was hurt.
The season before that, he missed all of that.
Yeah, he was out for all that season. So and what we had Bradley Chubb got hurt that season too, right?
No, that's when he made the Pro Bowl. He had 8 sacks though.
And you're telling me Malik Reed got 9?
Yeah.
9 or 10?
Well, they said he's like the leader the past 3 years, so he's got 15 the past 3 years, and that's more than anyone else has had.
Bro.
There's probably one less than Miller, because Miller had 14 that one season.
Yeah, bro. Listen, Chubb needs help, and I just give Chubb a fat L for cheering on the fans, going Donnie Lewis Jr. I wish that man the best of luck. He's a cornerback. He's a defensive back, so like a 5th, 4th string corner. Hope he pans out. Maybe not. Who knows?
Chubb is returning back to form. That's what I've heard.
But he didn't want to sign no autographs.
Oh fuck it.
Chubb. He's over here. Donnie.
What a guy. Yeah, let's see. Randy Gregory, and the other loser is another member of the defense, Ronald Darby.
Especially
since Sergio Money was my big winner.
Yeah. Because I agree. We're talking about, we were just talking about who we should trade Roquan Smith for.
And Ronald Darby was
Ronald Darby's our first choice. Maybe we trade them Natani Moody.
Well, that could be a good trade right there. This would be a good trade piece, I guess. Maybe Graham Glasgow instead.
Oh yeah. No, oh my gosh.
Maybe Lloyd.
The Bears would be like, get out of our face.
But Kush has been having a really good camp. I want to keep Kush around.
Kush is showing why he's the Lord.
Oh yeah, he said, I'm going to start at center.
I'm back, baby. The Lord is here. All
right. Let's see. We'll see what we're moving on here. More winners and losers.
Yes. All right. So injuries, tough injuries. Tim Patrick's out with that ACL.
Tough ACL tear for Tim Patrick.
Just hearing
that day.
Melvin Gordon's out as well.
A minor foot injury, I guess. I mean, we signed 2 running backs, so I guess that does say something that we do need these camp bodies in here because he's going to be missing some time.
I didn't really look any more up. Do you know any more injuries? Just any more nicks and bruises that are going on?
Not really.
We've been a pretty healthy camp
Yeah,
this
we've had a
season.
pretty healthy camp. I mean, yeah, yeah, we've been pretty good from what I've heard.
There's always one guy on the team that tears an ACL. I bet you like 28 of the 32 teams have some guy just blew their ACL. Tore
Yeah,
their
exactly.
ACL.
I mean, you seen what happened to the Jets. Mackay Becton fractured his kneecap or whatever.
And he's back. 1 year later, he's back, baby.
Oh no, he just got hurt yesterday.
He just got hurt.
Yeah, yesterday.
Got it.
He's finished.
When you're 7 feet tall and
Oh yeah, that much pounds. That's rough.
well,
Huge man.
pray for his recovery, please.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're gonna go into position battles, and we're gonna go back into some, and some positions because we were talking about winners and losers. But this is we're just gonna kind of go through this. So the first one is running backs because quarterbacks obviously it's Russ. So
Yeah, that's
Pook,
huge.
Pookie the one.
No question marks at quarterback for the first time in 6 years.
Hell
Yeah.
let's go. All right, running back. So Pookie number one is clear cut.
Clear cut. Coaches made it clear.
He got it. He got it day one. Flash. He's gonna come back from that minor foot injury, no problem. He's the number two. Then you got Mike Boone. Now, my only thing about Mike Boone is I'm hearing something about a Max Borghi, the Colorado kid, and he's been doing some good things in camp. So,
Oh yeah.
That third running back position,
Could be adios, boom.
it's pretty loose. Boone's been hurt too. Boone got hurt too. He hasn't really been doing anything either. So, hey, we may be going into a different direction.
Payton does like Boone a lot.
Uh,
We'll be seeing. We'll be seeing if he can impress enough. The Colorado kid.
All right. Next position would be the wide receivers. Now, I don't know how you look at it, but how I look at it as Sutton's the one, Judy's the two, the the small hamsters, the three. Who's number four?
Well,
Oh.
jeez, Louise, that was rough. Well, I'd probably say number 4 is probably a toss-up between, what's his name? I was going to say
Kendall
KJ
Hinton.
Hamler. Yeah, Kendall Hinton and Tyree Cleveland. I did hear Kendall Hinton had an injury too. There we go. That's what was injured. I was trying to think.
They hear that Tyree Cleveland's having a good camp. It makes me happy. When we drafted him, I was like, who? But then, I had hope. He wasn't really panning out in the last 2 training camps he's been here. So I'm glad that, he's really showing improvements. I know Seth Williams doing a good job too in camp,
Yeah, I've heard good things about Seth Williams.
So really, probably having 6 receivers on the roster, 5, 6 maybe, I don't know. If we have 7, that would be crazy.
That would be too much, way too much.
All right, Russ, you're cooking, right?
You're cooking, right? We got 7 receivers.
So we got 7 receivers, we're cooking, right?
It's way too much. Way too much. Nope.
Tight ends, Alberto.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Alberto is pretty much the clear-cut number 1. I mean, Russ has been liking Saubert in the red zone a lot, but I don't know. Probably could be a nice rotation between Saubert, Dulcich, and Alberto, because we did draft Dulcich pretty high. That was our second pick that we took in the draft. So,
when we're talking about a team, are we cooking as much as we're running the football, or are we running the football more than we cook?
I mean, I'm hoping for a more balanced effect, but the way it's looking is probably going to be cooking more than we're running, because that's what we traded for Russ to do. He didn't come over here to do the same thing he was doing in Seattle and just handed the ball off.
So should we keep Eric Tomlinson? So I'm thinking more like 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. Um, if Andrew Beck somehow finds a niche in fullback,
Yeah.
um,
We'll probably keep Andrew Beck.
we'll have probably 5, 6 receivers on roster, 4 tight ends. Eric Tomlinson sneaks in there because we're looking to be more of a passing team, but if we need some extra muscle, we go to Eric Tomlinson if we need that extra protection. Run the football, heavy set. And he's a receiver too, Watch out for Eric Tomlinson. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he could catch some touchdowns. Just some.
So, it really all depends, I think, on how they view the direction they're going. It's like, what do they think we need? Because we have very little quality at the receivers. We have quality, but we have very little quality. And like I said, the fourth receiver spot now, it's pretty hard to look at because when we had Tim Patrick, we look at KJ Hamler and it was like, okay, KJ's in a good spot.
Yeah.
KJ's holding the fourth receiver spot. He's good. We don't need to ask him to do too much. Now that Tim Patrick goes down, everybody's roles go up. Judy has top 10 expectations written all over his face.
You should be.
KJ Hamler has, he needs to show more now. He needs to stay healthy, and he needs to get like a star development on him.
Yeah, he definitely needs to step up big time this season, especially with that Tim Patrick injury.
And like I said, the 4 through 5 or 6, how many receivers are we keeping? At this point, I think we're just keeping 5. If we're
maybe 6, we'll keep one as like a kick returner or something, I guess.
Like Tyree Cleveland, Montrell Washington. I'm sorry to keep forgetting about that man.
Oh yeah, God, we haven't even mentioned that man.
Dude,
He's had a pretty great camp
so
too.
So look, Montrell Washington can hold that 4th receiving spot because he's just that good of a guy.
Yeah, he's showing that he's good.
And
gadget type player too.
Oh yeah. So I would is Hinton having is it a severe injury or is it just minor?
I think it's just minor. It's nothing serious.
So if the receivers, this is me for the receivers. Well, past 3, so 4, 5, and 6, right? So Kendall Hinton, Montrell Washington, Seth Williams. I don't know how Tyree Cleveland hangs in there. If he does, he does. But I want to see Seth Williams.
Yeah, I've been looking at Seth a lot. I think we've seen all we've seen from Tyree.
He has stones for hands. Stones.
Can't catch.
Can't catch the ball, coach. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, coach.
I can't say that because I've never played in the NFL, so I don't know how hard these guys are throwing.
These guys are working hard.
I'll be like, Russ, toss me the rock. Let me see how hard this is, Russ. Toss it, Russ. Oh, damn, Russ, that hurt. I'm out like a light. All right, no, we're too long.
Oh, yeah, we're approaching 25 minutes here.
We'll get into the defense in the next video.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Thank you, guys.
Peace.